Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to our Final Fantasy Brave Exvius video, and today we're going to be looking at all the JP units, Final Fantasy 15, 3 New Vision Awakenings, and 1 New Vision unit. So let's get into it, shall we? So the first review is Ignis. As you can see here, he got quite a bit of changes, and there was a stealth buff that I did not notice when I was doing this in the very early in the morning. So his imbues are now AoE. His fire, thunder, or lightning and ice imbues are all AoE now in his normal form. So that's also something I didn't add on this, so just so you guys know about that. So overall, infinite turns, dual cast for everything, and he has triple cast in his Brave Shift form, which is pretty standard on most units nowadays. 250% full stat buff for all allies, and he also has a 300% defense and spirit buff for all allies on a Grandis ability, 300 MP on a cooldown, which is good for all allies, of course. Stardust Rain, Bolting Strike, Chaining. Also has the elements that he can imbue for elemental boost for himself, I believe. And no, he can do it for everybody on his Lilith Burst, but for himself he can do it in like with a move. And also 280% full stat buff and a heal attached to that. He also has 150% true dual wield. He now has dual wield permanently. He has he has dual passive, which is interesting, right? And also he has one of the most interesting things ever on a unit so far. He has a move that basically allows you to get a modifier increase to all allies for a physical damage attack of some kind, like a chaining move or a jump move or a finisher. Something like that. So this is actually really interesting. This is not a bug, I don't think, and it's still in the wiki, so I don't think it's been parsed incorrectly. So basically, Ignis can boost a jumper or a finisher or something like that by 10 times mod, just like that, just like that. Bam, 10 times mod. So it's pretty good. I think that's one of the most interesting things that's ever come out to the game. It's really makes it dynamic. Makes it like you would just want to bring him just for that, right? So that's pretty interesting. Of course, as everything, has to be a downside, and his mods are just low. But you're not really bringing him to be your main damage dealer. If you are, I feel bad for you, but he's not going to be your main damage dealer. He has no 6 times cap. He doesn't start with all of his abilities unlocked, like most people were hoping for. So that's the only bad thing. But, I mean, come on, he just gives a 10 times mod to everybody. That's crazy. For physical damage only, guys, by the way. So, keep that in mind. So, Ignis will be getting an 8.5 out of 10. So, 8.5 out of 10 for Ignis. He would have gotten a lot higher if his abilities were just immediately unlocked and you didn't have to unlock them anymore. And also, I think that's the only thing that's holding him back from my score getting a little higher. So, 8.5, that's still really good. He has a lot of good things about him. So if you have Ignis, you should be very happy that he has all this good stuff. So moving on. Gladio. So he also got a New Vision Awakening, of course, that's why we're here. And he has infinite turns as well. Static 5k HP upgrade. Passive 200% defense TDH, which is interesting because I don't think there's anything that can give defense TDH right now. There probably is something out there that gives it. I don't remember right now, guys. If there is, comment in the section down below. Of course, if there's a global type thing, it doesn't really apply to this current situation, but maybe there is. Maybe there is something that gives it. Anyways, dual cast for all of his abilities. I mean, dual casting for all of his abilities are not that good anymore, guys. A lot of his abilities are really outdated and ancient and old and not useful. I think that there are some stealth upgrades in this patch, though. There were some things that got changed without being notified, so maybe some of his abilities got upgraded and I didn't notice. So maybe that is good. He has physical cover with 80 to 90% mitigation, which is kind of insane, right? It's kind of crazy. I think that's pretty crazy. So there's that. In his Brave Shift form, he has triple cast. He has Great Sword and Katana break gauge moves. Of course, that makes sense for what he has there on his sprite there, right? And he has a Lunafreya Chainer in his Brave Shift form, which is interesting. I don't think it changed with anybody because it's like 27 hits. So I don't think it changed with anybody specifically. I think it just changed with himself, which is not so good, unfortunately. But you know, maybe you bring 2 Gladios along. I don't think he would ever do that. Honestly, I don't think he would ever do that. But he can also be a finisher 90 times a mod, so your tank could be a finisher for you. I know that Cloud and a lot of other finishers are way better at finishing, but if you're bringing him along to physical tank, why not make him a finisher too? He also has 70% damage against broken enemies, and you guys know how strong that is. He has 150% true to wield and also 100% Lunafreya damage. He also has 150% Lunafreya damage buff and an attack and defense buff as well. There's some negatives, which are really going to impact his damage potential. No imbues at all, so you have to imbue him, so it's not really that big of a deal. And on top of that, no 6 times cap, of course. And his cover only lasts for 1 turn, so you basically have to keep using it every single turn, which is annoying. And does not let you really take advantage of his... Doesn't let you take advantage of his Brave Shift form that much. I don't know why it only lasts for 1 turn. Like, how are you gonna manage to use his Brave Shift form if you only can do it for 1 turn? The idea should have been he can cover for like 3 or 4 turns. You can Brave Shift over, be a damage dealer, and then shift back and cover again. That's how it should be, but apparently Gumi and Alum can't think that way. So, unfortunately, his score is going to be going down a bit because of that, and he's going to be getting an 8 out of 10 for that. He's still serviceable. If you just wanted a physical tank, you can just keep using it every turn. And there you go. Then we have Prompto, and this is one of the units that also got a stealth upgrade. A lot of his abilities got changed to have 80% breaks and things like that, so keep that in mind when I'm talking about all this stuff. This is something that was not I was not aware of that until now. So infinite turns, and one of the most interesting things, he has it for 1 use only, unfortunately, but a 450 times mod finish ability, which is crazy. He just gets that, bam, he just gets it. He also has a move that allows him to increase his modifier to himself for 1 turn. So what you could do is you could use that ability in his triple cast and then use the finish move. So it'll be actually 100, or it'd be 460 times modifier. I mean, that's just insane, right? It's only 1 use, but you can get a lot of use out of that 1 time. I think that's pretty strong. I think that's pretty good. He also has a 300 times mod finish for 1 use, but it's AoE, so not so good for Dark Visions. For most cases, unless you do the later stages. Gun break gauge, which is pretty standard on a unit that would have guns, right? He has treble cast in his Brave Shift form. He has 80% breaks on his Limit Burst. Okay. 125% Lightning and Peril, good. Stardust Ray and also Bolting Strike Chaining, 150% True to Wield, and 200% TDH. And I would recommend the TDH because of what we're going to be reading now. He has no new imbues, so you have to use his old imbue of Lightning imbue. He does have a Lightning imbue from his old days, so you'd have to use that. 80% breaks are not that good. They're okay, but not amazing nowadays. And also, he only has one use for that finisher, like I mentioned. It would be nice if he could use it more times. So, gotta make that count. So I'm gonna be giving him also an 8 out of 10 because he is good. He can be a potentially really strong finisher for being a New Vision Awaken unit. I mean, Prompto's been in the pool for a very long time. You might have a whole bunch of them. I think there was someone in my comment section that said they had a lot of him, or maybe that was Ignis. Someone said they had a lot of something. So maybe that'll be good for you. And finally, we have Oracle Lunafreya in her STMR to answer everybody's question is evoke damage, not evo magic, so maybe that'll be better for some of you guys. Unfortunately, she can't equip swords, so Terra's STMR is basically wasted on her. Can't use it. So she really basically is Water Terra in basically almost all aspects of what we're going to be talking about right now. She basically is Water Terra besides some different things. So her finish is still 80 times in her Limit Burst and her Brave Shift form, but there's a twist. There's a twist involved with that because unlike Terra where she just finishes and that's it, she also brings a zone effect when she uses her Limit Burst. So it's a water effect that does 25% more water magic damage. So that's pretty good. I don't know if the summon comes first, or like the effect comes first, or the finish comes first. If the effect comes first, then your finish is going to be doing even more damage. So that'll be good, right? She also has 5 times cap, so she has 4 times, you know, normally, but she also has the 100% chaining cap modifier increase. So with Lightning's STMR, she can have 6 times cap as a TDH unit. You want to build her TDH because she has 30% magic TDH. She only has 100% true to wield. She won't have the 6 times cap, so there's no reason to make her true to wield. And also 150% aquatic and dragon killer, which is whatever, because remember guys, you can't use killers when you do evoke finishing, so it doesn't matter that much. But for her normal form, that's fine. And 240% evo magic, which is good. That'll help out a lot for when you're trying to build her. 60% evoke damage. And also she has a Shiva, Rama, and Titan zone effect for those elements. So that's good. Still, she'll be really good paired up with Fistless, the mage version, Fistless mage. And also could be used with some other mages like Lightning. And Titan, I don't like, Dark Fiend and Soul could be, you could use Dark Fiend and Soul with that. So yeah, that's good. And 250% Lunaverse damage and 50 Lunaverse cost fill for 2 uses. Just the same thing as Terra. Basically the same thing. And she has light and water, mystic cross chaining, belching strike chaining, and their modifiers are their strongest move are the same. 72 light versus 72 fire. And things like that. But I do think that the twist is a little more interesting because she's able, I think, since she's a TDH mage that is also able to get 6 times cap, I think that her magic is going to be going skyrocket. I think 6k magic on her is going to be very easy with her craftable rod or staff. I think it's a staff, and allows her to get a lot of magic. I think it's like 200 on the rod, but then you get a lot of magic on when you get it to +4. So I think that's pretty crazy, guys. I think that's when you like best in slot for her because it also allows her to get some evoke damage on that rod as well, or staff. Whoops. And then only negatives really. The only negative I think is if you don't have Lightning's STMR, she's a lot weaker. So if you do have Lightning on the JP side, make sure you invest in that STMR because it's very good, and she really needs it. Unfortunately, it also removes some. May have to a little harder time to build her for evoke build, but it's not that bad because basically, now that I'm thinking about it, now it's basically the same thing as if you were to equip True to Wield on Terra. She needs 50% True to Wield, right? So you would need to equip that, I believe, right? So it's basically the same thing, right? It's almost the same thing. So in all, guys, I think I'm going to be giving her a 9 out of 10. I think she's better than Terra. I don't know why people were saying that she has less burst, because she'll have more burst. Remember, guys, that she has that summon effect on her Lung Burst, so you can actually get 25% more water damage. Just like that. So, and also she's a competent mage and she'll be able to do 6 times cap, but also being a TDH mage, she'll have a lot of magic. She can be your main mage, I'm pretty sure. So all in all, guys, yeah, we're getting into that. 9 out of 10. Make sure you guys like the video if you guys like the video. And I'll be sharing a link down below if you guys actually want to contribute to a community polls idea that a viewer brought to my attention. I'll be leaving that link down below if you want to jump in on the community polls. If you have some community polls, like a poll that you recorded but you don't want to share it with anybody else but me, or if you just plan on doing a poll soon and you want to go ahead and do that, make sure you leave that in the comment section down below. No, don't leave yours. Click on my link. It's totally safe. It's my Google Drive link, and anybody can add their video to that. So make sure you guys do that. Yeah, leave a like on the video. Make sure you're subscribed, and also hit the notification bell. And if you watch all the way to the end of this video, I know I was supposed to not leave this at the very end, but I guess this will be one of the times where I forgot. So you'll be typing in #Oracle if you watch all the way to the end of this video. Make sure you guys like it, like I said, and yeah, make sure to check out that link if you want to contribute to a community polls video. I'll be reading all of your guys' polls in a commentary type video. Anyways, guys, peace.